Imagine for a moment what it would be like if you could just take a deep breath and stop fighting against all the worries, fears, and anxieties that the world throws at you. What if, instead of battling every obstacle, you could accept things as they are and find true inner peace? Accepting life as it is doesn't mean giving up or settling. It's about embracing reality. In this video, we will explore how Stoicism teaches us to live more lightly by stopping the fight against what we can't change and instead focusing on fully living, even on the tough days. Here, you'll discover how to transform this acceptance into a powerful force to find tranquility and purpose in your life. One thing I can guarantee, you won't see things the same way after this video. Let's begin by understanding that everything is temporary. Have you noticed how life has this funny way of unfolding, like everything around you is in a sort of chaotic dance? It's as if things change without warning, constantly challenging your expectations, and you, caught in the middle of this dance, try to control every step and make everything follow your plan. Doesn't it seem a bit absurd to want a river to change its course just because you wish it? Life, like a river, has its own flow, and no matter how surprising it may be, it doesn't adapt to our wills. The only certainty is that change is constant, even if it may seem unfair at times. Think of life as a road where the path is always changing. Trying to force the way to go exactly as you planned only brings frustration. Instead, adjusting to the new curves and obstacles can make the journey much smoother. Stoic philosophy teaches us to accept changes calmly and not to cling to what's beyond our control. It's like trying to hold sand in your hands. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. I'm not here to make you feel bad for not having everything under control, but to offer you a more sensible alternative, learning to live with impermanence instead of fighting against life's natural flow. Why not learn to dance with it? This might require a bit of patience and humility, but the result can be liberating. Focus on appreciating the present moments, those that often go unnoticed while you're busy planning the future or regretting the past. See these moments as little rays of light on a rainy day. Each moment has its own value if you only take the time to notice it. Don't let anxiety or disappointment rob you of the ability to enjoy what you have now. If the present is a gift, why treat it like a burden? Stop forcing things. Imagine you're trying to fit a puzzle piece where it clearly doesn't belong. The more you force it, the more damage you do. Life often presents us with challenges and opportunities that seem out of place, but that doesn't mean we should force ourselves to fit into them. Sometimes, true wisdom lies in knowing when to let go. Patience is also crucial. It's not about waiting around doing nothing, but about learning to move with the rhythm of things. If you're stuck in a situation that you can't change right now, use this time to grow, reflect, and prepare for when the opportunity to act comes. Patience isn't passivity. It's an active way of facing uncertainty with calm and determination. So as you reflect on all this, remember, life isn't a problem to be solved, but an experience to be lived. Each change, each challenge is part of the journey. Instead of forcing a specific direction, learn to appreciate the ever-changing scenery and trust that every turn in the road has something to offer you. Stopping the force doesn't mean giving up. It means adjusting your expectations and embracing impermanence with an open and flexible attitude. Life doesn't follow a fixed script. Instead of fighting against the current, learn to navigate it. You might be surprised at how much you'll enjoy the ride when you stop trying to control everything. Remember, my friend, you can't change the direction of the wind, but you can adjust your sails to make the most of it. Before we move on, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and let us know you're here by commenting. I will live more peacefully. Thank you for your support. Let's continue by enjoying every moment of the now. There's something curious and deeply liberating about realizing that you don't need to force things all the time. But don't worry. I'm not here to promise you a magic formula that will solve all your problems, nor to say that you should just give up and accept everything. The truth is, the solution is much more subtle and perhaps even simpler than we like to admit. Let's talk a bit about silence. Yes, that silence that sometimes bothers us so much, that gives us the feeling that we're in some kind of competition to see who can stay quiet the longest without losing their mind. But here's the secret. Silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's a powerful tool when used with intention. Think of a time when you were trying to solve a difficult problem. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the pressure to find the right solution, silence can be that breath of fresh air you needed to clear your mind and see everything more clearly. In the rush of daily life, we often forget that silence can be a welcome relief. It's not necessary to fill every pause with words or make hasty decisions. Sometimes, what you really need is a moment of calm for the answers to come to you. Silence is like a machine's rest time. It prevents overheating and helps you function better. Imagine you're on a never-ending race, like running on a treadmill that never turns off. The more you run, the further away your goal seems. But what if, instead of continuing to chase the horizon, you stopped for a moment to appreciate the scenery around you? You would realize there is much beauty and joy in the present. You don't need to force a sense of fulfillment or follow a predetermined set of steps. Simplicity invites you to find pleasure in life's little things without complicating them. So, the next time you feel the urge to push something, whether in a relationship, at work, or within your own expectations, remember that silence and simplicity can be your greatest allies. Allow yourself those moments of calm and value what you already have. This can connect you to a more authentic joy. Stoic philosophy teaches us to find satisfaction in the present and to let go of the weight of expectations that burden us. If you ever find yourself caught up in the hustle of trying to control everything or relentlessly pursuing more, take a step back. Embrace silence, enjoy simplicity, and let life flow without the burden of exaggerated expectations. Because deep down, true peace isn't in the frantic pursuit of more, but in the quiet appreciation of what already is yours. The liberating effect of acceptance. Have you ever noticed how frustrating it is to see someone trying to use a key that doesn't fit the lock? It's like trying to solve a puzzle with pieces that simply don't fit together. Often, we struggle to change what's beyond our control, like a gardener trying to make a plant bloom out of season. Instead of accepting and adapting to reality, we end up swimming against the current, while life continues on, indifferent to our efforts. Acceptance isn't about giving up. In fact, acceptance is like a powerful force that allows us to face situations with calm and clarity. It's not about waiting for everything to pass or tolerating with the hope that something will magically change. It's more like recognizing that you're on a battlefield, and instead of trying to change the terrain, deciding how to best use the weapons you have. Think of life as a game of checkers. The pieces are there, and no matter how much you want, you can't change their position on the board. There's no point in trying to move a piece in a way that's not allowed by the game. What you can do is observe the board with clarity, evaluate your options, and make decisions based on the situation in front of you. Acceptance is this: seeing the pieces as they are and playing with what you have, instead of trying to change the rules of the game. The Stoics, like Epictetus, teach us that true strength lies in accepting what we cannot change and focusing on our own responses and actions. He used to say that it's not what happens to you, but how you react that really matters. It's like having an internal compass that guides you through the storm, no matter how strong the wind blows. I know, it might sound great in theory, but how do you do it in practice? Imagine life is like a bike ride. Sometimes the terrain changes, and you find yourself facing hills or unexpected bumps. Instead of trying to pedal as if you were always on a flat road, accept the changes and adjust your speed and direction. If you insist on maintaining the same speed when the terrain changes, you might end up losing your balance or tiring yourself out more quickly. If the path is tough, adjust your pace and enjoy the ride by adapting to the conditions ahead of you. So how do you apply this to your life? First, identify what's beyond your control. You can't control the weather, but you can choose whether to get upset or to prepare by having an umbrella whenever you need it. You can't control others' attitudes, but you can decide how to react to them. Instead of forcing situations to fit your perfect plan, accept reality and adjust your expectations. In summary, acceptance isn't surrendering to fate, but a way to demonstrate strength. It's a way to find mental clarity and inner peace without wearing yourself out trying to fight against currents you can't change. Remember, acceptance doesn't mean inaction, but wise action. It allows you to focus on what you can control and let go of the unnecessary effort of trying to change what's beyond your reach. Acceptance gives you freedom and peace of mind to deal with life's ups and downs without feeling overwhelmed or frustrated. It's as if you're driving on a rainy road. You can't stop the rain, but you can adjust your speed, turn on the windshield wipers, and continue your journey safely.